Good morning. It's pretty early here. We just moved the pigs off of their last paddock, paddock 4, and right afterwards got a ton of rain. So some things to note. That's the place their feeder was for a long time. You can see that area is pretty beat up. Lots of spilt feed, but a lot of mud too. Everything will settle out, and I'll cover it in wood chips, which will allow the worms to come in and eat all that feed, and next year it'll be no evidence that the pigs destroyed that spot. They did a good job in paddock 4. They left a lot of the rose bushes, but as you can see, the ground, anything that could be eaten or trampled into the soil has been done so. And you can see the clear browsing line up to the fence. They create a little berm that we can either plant into or utilize over time to kind of make the paddock more secure. So nice and open. If you compare this to the initial paddock 4 video, you'll see the significant difference that was made. I don't know if you can see here on the ground, there's a lot of black cherries, all them little black specks. Pigs love them. We had a cherry tree come down on the barn that I had to cut off, so now it's kind of just laying there horizontally. So that was all I could do since it was just above the pig fence. I couldn't really mess with it. I don't want to run a chainsaw near the pigs. That would be catastrophe in the making. Here's where one of their waterers was. So you can see that's pretty stirred up there. I had it strapped to that tree. I move those around pretty frequently so that they don't completely destroy an area, but they love to make mud holes right near the waterer. And then you can see up until the edge, they couldn't reach this stuff because it's out of their nose range. But if you get down behind it, you can very clearly see all of the inside is cleaned out. If I take down some of this viney stuff and some of these less desirable trees, then the sun will get down there and that'll all be grass next year. This was about a 3/4 acre paddock, and they were in here for about 5 weeks. This is early September. There is a very moist area here. Coming down off the hillside there is not really a spring, but all the water kind of funnels through here. And the pigs found that out as well and made an enormous mud hole, which was good because it was hot in this August. So they had a place to come here, cool off, wallow. And now once they're out of it, the frogs will move in here, and you know, lots of these weedy things that really like this moist area will pop up in there, and again, it'll be like the pigs were never there till next year when they do it again. A lot of these logs in here weren't rotten enough for them to bust up. You can see they rubbed on them a lot, but next year maybe they'll be a little more rotten, and then the pigs will rip them apart, get in there, and eat them up. This used to be, I don't know, maybe a sheep farm or something, but there was a lot of thin fencing all throughout these woods long time ago. But right here is a little land bridge. There was a stream that at one time ran through here. It doesn't really run anymore, but you can see the mud tried to find that old natural path of the stream up until the edge of this bridge. This will all be seeded with pasture mix. And I'll show you here in a couple seconds the result of that pasture mix in just a very short period of time. So that's what it looks like when we move them off. And that is what it looks like shortly after the seed takes hold. So the difference really is quite dramatic. That was their last paddock. I was a little worried about this oak tree in that cage right there. Thought for sure the pigs would rip it up and destroy it, but I didn't really have a good way to fence it off because it was dead center in the middle of the paddock. Fortunately, they left it alone. I don't know why, but hopefully I can figure out why, because it'll get them to leave other trees alone in the future. Here's another dead cherry. Fell right on the fence in the middle of this rotation. Had to get out here with a chainsaw and cut it off. There's the stump. Fortunately, the pigs didn't escape. But that's one of the risks, is that if you have a lot of dead trees, especially here in Pennsylvania, a lot of dead ash trees, that was a cherry, but they will fall on your fence, and then you just got to hope that the pigs don't realize. So we're back at the start here, and that is the entirety of paddock 4.